Hey Pamela, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for taking time to speak with me today. How's your day been going?
It's been going pretty well. It's been busy, but that is fairly normal in property management.
Hmm. I can imagine. With several properties and tenants to work with, I'm sure something always needs your attention. How long have you worked in property management?
I've been working in property management for about 12 years. I've been with Pulse several of those years.
Okay. What originally interested you in property management?
I like the idea of working with both people and real estate. Every day is different, and I enjoy helping property owners and tenants solve problems.
All right, that makes sense. I also like jobs where every day is a little bit different. What would you say you enjoy most about your position?
Um, I enjoy improving our operations and finding ways to make things easier for our employees and tenants. It can be challenging, but it's rewarding when everything works properly.
Okay. Has the rental market in Northern Kentucky been treating you well?
I think so. I don't have any complaints. There's a lot of demand in the area, but
Hmm.
tenants also have higher expectations now than they did in the past.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. People expect property management companies to respond quickly and make things convenient for them nowadays.
Mhm.
So I do appreciate you sharing that with me. I did some research on Pulse before our meeting and saw that your company manages several different types of properties throughout northern Kentucky. So the purpose of today's meeting is mainly for me to learn more about your company and how you currently handle property security and access. I'm not here to ask you to purchase anything, but I would like to understand your current process and any problems you guys experience and what improvements might be useful for you guys. Would that be okay if I ask you a few questions?
Sure, that would be fine.
All right, awesome. So, could you start by telling me about the types of properties Pulse currently manages?
We manage a mixture of single-family rental homes,
Hmm.
apartment buildings, townhomes, and a few small commercial properties.
Okay. Does your security process work the same at each property, or does it kind of depend on the owner or the property type?
It usually depends on the property owner. Some properties have cameras or electronic locks, but others still rely mostly on traditional locks and keys.
Okay. So, how do the tenants, employees, and the maintenance workers normally gain access to the properties?
Tenants usually have physical keys. Employees and maintenance workers may also have keys, lockbox codes, or they may need to contact someone from our office to get access.
Okay. So, who's usually responsible for handling those? Um, oh, I'm sorry. Who's actually normally responsible for handling the security concern or an access problem?
Our property managers usually handle the first call. If the problem is serious, it may be brought to me or another member of management.
Okay. Are decisions about security usually made by Pulse, or is it the property owner or both of you guys?
Normally, both. We can make recommendations, but the property owner usually has to approve the cost.
Okay. So, what are some of the most common security or access concerns that you hear from the tenants and the property owners?
Lost keys are common. We also hear concerns about package theft, people entering apartment buildings who do not live there, and poor lighting around some properties.
Okay. Could you give me an example of a recent situation you guys ran into with those problems?
Recently, a tenant lost a key late at night, and one of our employees had to contact the property manager, find a spare key, and arrange for someone to meet the tenant. It took a lot of time for something that seemed like a small problem.
Okay. Was the tenant satisfied with how you guys handled that?
The tenant understood, but they were frustrated by how long it took. Our employee was also frustrated because it happened after normal business hours.
Okay. So, are there any parts in your security process that take too much time for your employees?
Keeping track of keys and changing locks when tenants move out take a lot of time. It
Mm-hmm.
also is difficult to check to see what happened during an incident if the property does not have cameras.
Yeah. Have any of your tenants actually asked you guys about additional cameras or changing out smart locks, add better lighting, or other security features?
Yes, actually, cameras and better access control are probably the two most common requests.
Okay. So, when a security or an access problem happens after business hours, how does that affect your employees?
It interrupts their personal time, and sometimes they have to drive to a property. It can also cause confusion about who is responsible for responding.
Okay. So, how do those situations affect the tenants and the property owners?
Tenants may feel like the company is not responding quickly enough, and property owners can also become concerned if they believe the property is not being managed or protected properly.
Hmm. Could repeated security problems make it more difficult to keep those tenants satisfied?
Yes, security is an important part of whether a tenant feels comfortable living at a property. If they do not feel safe, they may decide not to renew their lease.
Okay. What happens when your team cannot confirm what happened during an incident because there is no camera footage available?
We have to rely on what people tell us. That can make it difficult to respond to complaints or determine who may be responsible.
Okay. So these issues can create extra work for employees while also affecting the tenant satisfaction rate and the property owner's confidence in Pulse. Would that be accurate?
Yes, that's accurate.
Okay. So, what would an ideal security and property access process look like for Pulse?
Ideally, we would have a system that is easy for our employees to manage and easy for tenants to use. We would also want to control who can access a property without keeping track of so many physical keys.
Hmm. How would it help your team if employees could receive alerts and check the cameras remotely if they're not on site?
It would help us determine whether someone needed to visit the property or whether the issue could be handled remotely. That could save us time, especially after normal business hours.
Okay. So would temporary access codes for maintenance workers be useful for you guys?
Yes, it would be helpful if we could give someone access for a specific amount of time and then remove that access when the work was finished.
Yeah, just give them like a period where they can use it.
Right.
Um, so how could those improvements affect the experience you provide to tenants and the property owners?
Tenants would probably feel safer and receive faster assistance. Property owners would also know that there was a better system in place to protect their investments.
Hmm. Um, of the improvements we discuss, which one do you think would be most valuable to Pulse?
I think better access control would be the most valuable, followed by cameras and remote alerts.
Okay, yeah. So based on what you've shared, it sounds like your main priorities are improving access control, reducing problems involving the physical keys, and responding faster to after-hour incidents. Also, giving your team a way to check properties remotely without having to be on site. Would you say that's a fair summary?
Yes, I think that summarizes it well.
Okay, so bes besides you, who else would normally be involved in considering a change to the security procedures?
The property managers would probably be involved, and we would also need approval from the individual property owners.
Okay. Um, so what information would be most useful to those people during a future conversation?
They would want to know the cost, how the system works, how difficult installation would be, and whether it could be used at different types of properties.
Okay. All right. Well, Pamela, thank you for answering all my questions. This meeting has helped me better understand how Pulse currently handles security and the property access. Rather than showing you information that may not apply to your company, I would like to review my notes and prepare a few options based specifically on the concerns that you mentioned before. So I could include information about smart access, cameras, remote alerts, installation, and the estimated costs of what you guys could be looking at. So would you be open to a short follow-up meeting where I could present those options to you and one of your property managers?
Yes, I would be open to that.
All right, perfect, great. So would sometimes next week work for you?
Yes, Thursday afternoon would probably work.
Okay, Thursday afternoon it is. So I will follow up with you to confirm the exact time and send a brief outline of what we will discuss. And then thank you again for your time, Pam. I really appreciate it and the opportunity to learn more about Pulse Property Management.
You are welcome. Thank you for taking the time to prepare and learn about our company.
All right, bye.
Bye.